All right, guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna do I guess not a reaction, but more of a review on the Daytona 500 this past week. It got rained out Sunday, so it got moved to Monday night. So yeah, pretty crazy race. We'll get down to it. We're just gonna start off with some highlights. Hold on a second. So hold on, let's go ahead and start off with this, I guess. So, start off the Daytona 500 on Sunday. We got 20 laps in, and I got hair in my eyes. But we got 20 laps in the race, and then they started raining. But before that, this race, just from watching it at home, it had so much energy. It had so much excitement in that race. President Trump was there. The new season of the start was there. It's Jimmy Johnson's final Daytona 500. It's his final season. I mean, this race, just the excitement in the race, the love that these fans have for this race, and just everything. I don't know why, but this Daytona 500 felt a little bit more. It felt more anticipated, I guess. Just because it could have been because of Donald Trump being there, or president, and I'm super happy. Politically, I don't agree with some of the stuff that he does, but I think at the end of the day, I don't care what you believe in. I don't care if you're a NASCAR driver, the president, or a fan. I don't care what you believe in. At the end of the day, Sunday is a day for racing, and I love race fans. I love racing. I love all of it. So, on Sundays, I'll get together with, I'll be friends with anyone, no matter what your political belief is or religious belief is. At the end of the day, it's racing day. So if he likes racing, then, I'm happy. This race, like I said, this race was just so intense. Like, it was you can feel the energy from sitting at home and watching it on TV. It was amazing. I wish I was there. Hopefully next year I'll get some tickets. I'm hoping to get a job within this week, and then start saving for a Kansas race and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter. That'd be future ideas. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into the review. Starting on Sunday, the first 20 laps, Dale Jr. did wave the green flag. So pretty much nothing in this first 20 laps of the race. Nothing really happened. The only thing that really happened was Joey Logano being really aggressive and trying to get the lead. But after that, they pretty much raced single filed for the first 20 laps, and then the rains came, and then they postponed it till Monday. So I guess we can go ahead and jump ahead till the next day. So the next day, okay, so we had a caution at the end of stage one, I meant. So, and it was a battle between the Hendrick guys. We had Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, and Alex Bowman. And what caused the caution for this to go into to cause that wreck was the Stenhouse wrecking William Byron. I guess Stenhouse was getting a little too aggressive, but I think at the end of the day, it's just a racing incident. So we have the finish of the stage one, pretty simple. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, I mean, they were teammates, so they're not. I don't know if Alex Bowman was really going to make a move. I think he was content running second, which I was too. Throughout these races, I always get really aggravated with my driver being way too conservative, and I hated that. So I wish my driver was a little bit more aggressive. And this year, I wanted my driver to be a lot more conservative. I wanted him to stay there to the end because. So I'm going to give you a rundown on the previous Daytona 500s. This race has been so hard to watch, or to pick your drivers fantasy-wise. It's so hard. Like it's kind of stupid, to be honest. We've had the past 2-3 Daytona 500s. We've literally only had 15 cars running in the race out of 40 cars. I mean, it's been a wreck fest every year, and it's kind of getting a little bit really ridiculous. And this is how this race was this year, and it's pretty annoying because everyone that I picked, besides Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney, I actually had them on my starter roster Besides them finishing 1-2, uh, everyone else I picked they got wrecked out, and it's really annoying. It's good for these smaller teams like Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoy, and all those guys that did well, but it's pretty annoying. So that's why I wanted Alex Bowman this year to kind of play it a little bit more safer. And then, but yet again, if you play it safe, as you know later in this video, you'll find out. But hold on a second. Let's go ahead. So we have another restart. This is stage 2. I guess we don't really need to necessarily watch that. We had a crash on the backstretch. The double zero car in the 52. I don't know who they are. I forgot them. I think it's Landon Castle maybe, or no, BJ McLeod, something like that. I don't even know, dude. It's just two slow cars got a wreck. Guess we can go ahead and jump ahead. Nothing, like I said, nothing. I mean, it was pretty good racing. We saw a lot of action, 3 wide battles, all that stuff. So Stenhouse got a penalty for jumping below the double yellow line. All right, so he had to come down pit road, which pretty much cost his chances at winning the Daytona 500. I don't know my opinion on it. I think that, you know, when he tried to cut down in front of Ryan Blaney, I just made the move wrong. So he got a penalty, and we started going through pit stops with 20 laps to go. We had a caution for Ricky Stenhouse. This was in the middle of people pitting and not pitting, different strategies throughout the race. No caution for this though, but I think it was Eric Jones. I'm watching the highlights right now, by the way. I'm just, like I said, so much kind of happened that I need to watch the replay to refresh it. I mean, like, yes, last night was just a pretty awful night, and didn't really want to go back and watch any highlights or anything. So, yeah, Stenhouse just got caught up in a wreck. I think it was, yeah, Eric Jones. Stenhouse was coming to pit. Eric Jones did not know he was pitting. I guess no one put their hand out the window indicating that they were pitting, so Stenhouse got ran over. So yeah, that was that. And then we got different strategy picks. The first group of the cars came down pit road. They pitted a little bit earlier than the Chevy guys. Once again, the Chevy are off strategy, and it almost nearly cost them because of the Stenhouse wreck. It shook everything up. So we had different packs racing together, but they did end up catching them. Let's go ahead and jump ahead. So much, like there's so much happened. Kyle Busch blew an engine in the trial lap. It was like that lap 18, 19. So yeah, he blew an engine. Very frustrating for him. Obviously, has been. This is his 15th try trying to win the Daytona 500. Something just not manufacturer, but mechanical failure cost him the winning the Daytona 500. He had a pretty strong car. The Toyotas were actually doing really well, working together. So I mean, they were doing really good. And then we had a big crash with 19 laps to go. I think it was 19 laps to go. Yeah. Joey Logano gave Eric Almirola a huge push right into his teammate. Maybe it was not 19 laps to go. It was a lot sooner. I'm watching the highlights, but I'm trying to indicate how it works out. But so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it right now, I guess. So Joe Logano gives Eric Almirola a huge push, and it shoved him right into Brad Keselowski, got him swirly, and just lost control of the car. Took out a lot of the cars, and this is what started the I guess the wreck fest, if you say. If we can get to it, Kyle Busch is limping around the racetrack, wrecked. So and during the race broadcast, they were actually showing a replay of Kyle Busch in his problem, and they didn't have it on the wreck until they came back from this thing, and then you just saw a huge crash. It was crazy. I was so mad because I didn't know where Alex Bowman was at. I didn't know if he was in the wreck or not. So it was a little bit tricky to know where your driver is. I didn't see him up there when they showed the camera on the leaders and who was not in the wreck. So I was like, not looking good. But so yeah, I had a big wreck. Hopefully they'll show you who was in the wreck and who was not. If not, it's okay. There's a lot of guys like Brad Johnson was in it, Bowman was in it, obviously. Eric Amarola, Truex, just so many guys were in it. So we had to restart with 11 laps to go. Getting down to the nitty gritty, guys wanting to win, wanting to win the Daytona 500. So things are starting to amplify and get a little bit more crazier. I don't know what happened from here. Like I said, I'm watching the highlights from now. So like this a lot of cautions. It just kind of makes you guess on what happened next. I know Joe Logano wrecked, so he's pushing Newman right now. So here's the wreck, I'm guessing. Like I said, these laps they were actually racing pretty clean since that wreck. They were actually racing pretty clean. They were still getting aggressive, jockeying around for position. But yeah, they get in a wreck here, right there. Yep. Who was that? Two slow cars, the 27 and the 66, the Timmy Hill. Don't know who's in 27 car though. But yeah, they wreck. Don't matter. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on from that. Another restart. 4 laps to go. Things are getting a little bit more crazy. So yeah, things are docking around. Larson and Logano work together. As you see here, Newman and Denny Hamlin work together. So when this happened, this made me so mad because it reminded me of the 2011 season restricted plate racing when they had the 2-car tandem draft. And I thought NASCAR got rid of that to where that wouldn't happen. I'm not saying get rid of bum drafting, but I'm just saying don't let that happen because I didn't want to see 2 guys racing for the win like that. But Denny Hamlin pulled out. They said he was getting too hot, so it caused a big, mess. Slowed everyone down. Russ Chastain gets a huge run on the 37. Wrecks tons of cars. Joe Logano, Christopher Bell was in it. Brian Priest, Tyler Reddick, Ty Dillon. Trying to see who else was in it. Chase Elliott spun around. He escaped the wreck though, pretty clean. So yeah, that's who was in the wreck. Like I said, the two, Denny Hamlin and Newman, they were bump drafting together, and they when Denny Hamlin separated himself from Denny Hamlin's bumper or Ryan Newman's bumper, it just they lost all their momentum, and the pack behind them was just getting this huge run, and you really had nowhere to go. And it's the last 4 laps of the Daytona 500. You can't just lifters or losers, as you know the saying on play races. So Russ Chastain saw a hole, took it, but then it closed up as Ryan Priest tried to block the run, but just shoved him down to the apron and just caused a big wreck. So that was that wreck. And then we had a restart. And this wreck, was the same thing that happened in the Busch Clash. I don't know why. It was nighttime this time, so I don't know. It's just I was first I was thinking maybe the track was slick, and Boyer and McDowell was in this wreck. I don't know if Boyer just got loose on the push off. If you see in the replay, I'm gonna try to put some highlights or the wreck up on this video. Hold on, let me go a little bit further back. So the restart here. So let's see what happened. So the 34 car gives Newman Boyer a pretty good push, but it doesn't look like there's enough contact. I don't know if maybe because they said there's 100 more horsepower in these engines this year, so I don't know if maybe it's the engine, him just trying to get back to the gas quicker, trying to just hammer it down and just spun the tires. I don't know when last time these guys pitted. I don't really know how the race went down. I just don't remember. Pretty crazy race. So they might have had older tires, just trying to put a little bit more horsepower down on the car, going from 60 to trying to go up to gears in a short amount of time is probably gonna do some type of tire spin, whatever. So we get to a restart. I think this is the last restart. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. So this is the last 2 laps. Denny Hamlin gives Ryan crap. I'm all messed up. Ryan Blaney gives Denny Hamlin a push to the lead. At this point, I did not want Denny Hamlin to win the race. He won the Daytona 500 twice. I would love to see Newman or Blaney win it. I was actually going for Coyle or Jordan in this point. just because Corey LaJoy has been through so much, and he had a run. He had a chance to win it with a push from Larson, but Newman tried in front of him. Newman jumped to the outside line with his Ford teammate. He actually tried to make a move on Hamlin, actually, to be honest. So yeah, gets a run. I saw Corey LaJoy on the bottom, so I was like, "Oh, come on, Corey LaJoy, let's win this race." He just had no run, and so it was a battle between Newman and Hamlin. And as you see, Chase Elliott, I guess you can't see really, but Chase Elliott gets wrecked. No caution, which was huge. We were screaming, "Race it back to the white! Don't throw the caution." We were hoping there was no caution. So Blaney gives Newman a huge push to the lead, leaving Denny Hamlin with no help. And then Ryan Blaney left off the bumper of Newman. Denny Hamlin pushes Ryan Blaney. I hope I'm saying this right. There's so much is going on right now. I'm trying to react from the highlights here. So Denny Hamlin's getting Ryan Blaney a huge push on the front straightaway here. And then just being aggressive, Ryan Blaney accidentally turns Newman into the wall in a huge crash. And this is where things get really, really bad. Denny Hamlin ended up winning the Daytona 500 in the second closest finish of the season, or not the season, but the second closest Daytona 500 in history. So yeah, and it was kind of scary though. Was Newman was upside down. He was on fire, and there was gas leaking out, and it was just crazy. Like, put the fire out. But so I guess on the story of Newman, Denny Hamlin won the race. That's all that matters. Or not really all that matters, but it's Denny Hamlin won the race, and so that that's that. But let's just put our focus on Ryan Newman now, as the race was ended out, because we didn't really care about Hamlin celebration or anything like that. And I know a lot of people on Twitter and everything was complaining about but Hamlin celebrating on the front stretch, not knowing that Newman was seriously hurt. I will agree with Hamlin and his crew chief. There's no way you can get information that quick to a driver, especially when you win the race. Normally, when you come back around, you have your Hans device and your helmet off, so you can't have no radio access. I think you see it. Yeah, he has his helmet still on, I think. But normally they have their helmets off and stuff like that, where they don't have no radio communication. And they didn't find out that he was seriously hurt until he got to Victory Lane. And as you saw in Victory Lane, hold on. But as you saw in Victory Lane, Denny Hamlin just was the celebration wasn't as I guess exciting. He knew what happened. So the tension on Ryan Newman, this was the worst feeling of my life. The broadcast, the Fox broadcast didn't give you any information on Ryan Newman. They left the broadcast as saying that they transported Ryan Newman to a local hospital, and that's all that we can give you. It was the worst feeling in the world, leaving the broadcast, leaving you with so many questions and answers. It's like, is he okay? Is he alert? Like, is he awake? Like you would think that normally in the race, the officials would give you information saying, hey, Ryan Newman is awake and alert, but we're going to transfer him to a hospital because he has injuries. They would say that, I would hope. Normally they do, to be honest, but in this indication, they did not say that. They just said that Ryan Newman was being transported to a local hospital for evaluations, and that was scary because then they ended the broadcast. We went to the next show, and then for me, I was on my phones just searching through Twitter till about 10 o'clock. It was about 7 o'clock. Race ended about 7 o'clock, and I was on my phone until 10. So about 2 hours, I was on my phone just looking through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I was just, trying to find out answers on what's Ryan Newman's conditions. It's just horrible feeling, being left without any answers. It sucked, dude. But around 10 o'clock, NASCAR did give a press conference saying that Ryan Newman's injuries was in serious conditions, but his injuries are not life-threatening, which was huge. I just so much was lifted off my shoulders, and prayers were answered. I was posting on Instagram of people just to keep praying. I don't care if you're a fan, and even right now, just continue to pray for Ryan Newman. He needs it. We want him as healthy as possible. As you know, we don't want anything serious happen to him. Obviously, I don't know how he survived. I mean, a car literally hit him going 180, 190 miles per hour, hit him on the driver's side door. Really on the where the what do you call it, the net of where the race car is, where they climb in. I forgot what it's called, the safety net, I guess. Pretty much hitting him right there, and the where the bars are at above the roof, that actually failed for some reason. It broke when the impact hit him, and I don't know how he survived. Like I said, I don't know. It's just the car hit him. It had like the bar or something had to hit him right in the head or in that neck area, and like I said, I just don't know how he survived. But it's a miracle. Very thankful that he's okay, or at least alive. He's gonna have some injuries, I guess. It's just a huge impact. Like I said, just don't know how he survived, but he's gonna have some type of injuries. But yeah, I mean, it was a crazy incident, and they just left us with no answers, and so we were just scrolling through. I mean, everyone. There was a lot of people. I just recently joined a group of NASCAR Heat 4 community on Facebook, and I was reading through comments and posts on Ryan Newman's conditions, and there was rumors that he was awake and alert at the racetrack. There was these rumors that he was awake in the hospital. It's just so many different things. You couldn't believe. You needed real resources and information from the race team of Roush Fenway or NASCAR. So I didn't believe any of it. So it was just frustrating having to see these rumors. It's like, is he really alive? Is he awake? Or what's going on? And I thought that after about 2 hours or an hour into the race, I thought, well, maybe he's still alive. They're just doing treatment on him, trying to figure out what his problems are. Like what can be diagnosed with what kind of injuries he has. So I was like, maybe that's a good thing that it's taking forever. I don't know. I never lived this situation. Reading through comments too, I remember these fans that were alive, or not alive, but that were watching the sport when in the 2001 Daytona 500, when Dale Earnhardt was passed away in a crash on the last lap. People were saying that this was just like that. That the Fox Sports team left the coverage without giving us answers and stuff like that. And I don't know what that's like. I do remember watching a lot of documentaries about Dale Earnhardt's life in the day that he died, and it kills me to this day to watch those documentaries, because I always ask myself, what would NASCAR be like if he was still here? What would his life be like? Like what would the sport be at if he was still here? And just I wrestle with that question every day when I see people talk about Earnhardt on a NASCAR or just fans. It breaks my heart, because I would love to have met Dowd Sr. or at least seen him at a racetrack. It would have been super cool, and so that was going through my head through this time. Was I mean, what if something really seriously happens to Newman and just something the worst happens, and so I was just wrestling with that question of what could we have done? What could a NASCAR have done to avoid this to happen? And the first thing that I thought of too was throwing the caution out when Chase Elliott wrecked. But I think for us race fans, we would have complained even if Newman didn't get hurt, or if that wreck didn't happen, we would have complained that NASCAR threw the caution. But that was my reaction, was NASCAR should have thrown the caution. But I mean, us fans, we complain a lot, so we want things, and so I guess it was a smart idea to keep it to the green. But yet again, there was a statement by Roush Fenway today, actually about a couple hours ago. So Roush Fenway gave this statement saying, on behalf of Roush Fenway and Ryan Newman, I'll put this up on the edit, by the way, but on behalf of Roush Fenway Racing and Ryan Newman's family, we'd like to thank the NASCAR community for the incredible outpouring of support, compassion for Ryan. Your thoughts and prayers have comforted us comfort us all. And then he goes on to say, Ryan Newman remains in the Halifax Medical Center and will be provided further updates on his conditions and as they become available. And so just hearing that is actually a little bit more scary a little bit too. Um, just because they don't have any updates on what his condition is horrible. It's like what is wrong with him? Like, and I don't know. I just kept wrestling with this question of what's his statement. It was hard for me to sleep too. Like I said, in the NASCAR world, we have these drivers that we love. We have those drivers that we hate. Ryan Newman's one of those guys that Ryan Newman's known for a hard racer. No matter if he's a lap down, 2 laps down on the lead lap, no matter where he's at on the racetrack, he's going to race you hard. No matter if you're the leader and he's a lap down, no matter if you're in 30th and he's, and no matter where you're at, he's going to race you hard. And so Ryan Newman's one of those guys that fans had a hard time to respect, or it's not really respect, but kind of like throughout the race because he just raced you really hard. Let's just say that. So Ryan Newman, and so that's why I love Ryan Newman. I would give anything to have Ryan Newman come back again, and I would deal with 20 more years of Ryan Newman racing like a butt if that means for him to be okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, you love your driver, you hate a driver, but when something like this happens, we come together as a community. The NASCAR sport's a fan sport or a family sport. I mean, we don't really have very many fans. We have a lot, but we don't have very many as NBA or NFL or anything like that. To be honest, but at the end of the day, we are a family, and when a driver gets hurt, we pray and we cry out for help by our Lord. And God did answer our prayers, keeping him safe. Giving us the best news that he is alive and that he is not going to have any serious threat to his life with these injuries. But it was an awful day. Wasn't very fun. It wasn't a fun night at all because, like I said, it was just 2 hours of waiting on updates on his conditions. But I don't know. I mean, I will post on my Instagram, though, any further updates. Obviously, you guys will get before I even post it because I'll post it when I get it. But like I said, I'll post any more updates on the Instagram on his updates. Hopefully, he gets better. Hopefully, he's okay. Like I said, I don't see him walking away with any type of injury or with not having any injuries because that's just a huge crash. Hard hit on the driver's side window is just. There's got to be some injuries, and I was kept hoping maybe he comes away with no injuries. Maybe they say, well, yeah, he's gonna be all right. He'll have to be out for a couple weeks, but he'll be back in a race car soon. Stuff like that. But I can't. There's no way he can come out of this wreck not having some sort of injuries, at least severe injuries that's gonna keep him out for about a year or so. So, I mean, right now, racing is the last thing that's on our mind. We want him to come out of this for the best for his family, hoping he's going to be okay and that he's able to enjoy his life, the rest of his life outside of racing, just as normal as I am. Living a normal life. I would hate to see him have any sorts of impact from this wreck, impacting later on his life and in his career with his family. I hope for the best, hoping that he comes out of this fine and it's just I don't know. But yeah, that's the race recap, I guess. Like I said, prayers are going out to Newman again. We love you. We're supporting you, man. And wish for him for the best. But thank you guys for watching. Drop in the comments below on your love for Newman. Drop a memory that you have. My favorite memory of Ryan Newman, I posted this on Instagram, was the Roval wreck or the Roval race last year in the playoffs when his daughter was pouring water on him. And I remember him saying that losing championships and getting eliminated from playoffs is really tough. But moments like this with my daughter makes it a lot more easier to overcome. So I remember that was the first thing that came to my mind as a memory of Ryan Newman. Very respectable guy, loving guy. He's loves his family, loves his daughter. He's a great man, and so I just ask you guys to drop your love for Newman and your prayers out for him. And but yeah, just like the video, subscribe. Yeah, it's just a very very rough week. Just wasn't a good day to be a NASCAR. I want to say a fan of NASCAR, but it just wasn't a good day for NASCAR. But thank you guys for watching.